Hello, and I am going to be interviewing my Papa. My name is Aotea, Puanani, Moanamamao, Hanohano, and this man's name is
Papa. Peter Kawola Hanohano Jr.
Junior. Wow, I love that. Okay, yeah, let's get started. What memories do you have of each of your brothers and sisters? Huh?
Do you know how many brothers and sisters I have?
I have no idea. Not a clue.
Okay. I'm the oldest of 7 children. So there's myself, Uncle Danford, Uncle Clayton, Auntie Val, Auntie Ollie, Uncle Chad, and Uncle Neil. That's going to take 7 days to talk about each one.
7 days it is. Let's start. Okay.
Well, we grew up in Punaluu, where Hanohano Hale is. You know where Hanohano Hale is?
Of course I do. I've lived there once.
Okay. So before Hanohano Hale was built, had our country, Grandma Hanohano had a country. Grandma Hanohano to me is not Grandma Hanohano to you. This is your great-grandmother.
My great-grandmother.
Grandma Stella. They had a country home, and they had a little cottage. And we stayed in the cottage. And the country home, the family would come over on the weekends, and we would have the family members over. But then, after a while, Auntie Maud and her family moved in. They were in the big house, yeah. Then we were in the cottage. And then our families grew up, so that's Auntie Momi, Auntie Cookie, Cousin Joel, Auntie Didi, and Auntie Lehua. Is that all of them? Those are my cousins, but we grew up together. And do you know how many brothers and sisters my dad had?
17.
You're right. I'm not going to take time to name all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, so growing up in Punaluu was lots of fun. It was right on the ocean. My brothers and sisters, we loved to play in the kamani trees and in the banana patch across the street. Grandpa Hanohano had an old farm over there. And when I was growing up, I remember the farm. But I think when we lived there, the farm wasn't there, right? Gone. Yeah. Yeah. But we're starting to... My cousins are starting to do work on the farm again, clearing it, and they've had other people living there, and so they're trying to clean up the place and start farming again. We had big ponds that they raise shrimp in. You like shrimp? I know your dad likes shrimp.
I love shrimp.
Yeah. So you know how we had shrimp the other night?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they grew really big shrimp there. Yeah.
So that's all fun.
Well, when we had lots of fun. There's all kinds of stories, but living out in the country was fun. And my parents, and we also had Grandpa Ho with us. So Grandpa Ho, what I remember about Grandpa Ho is he would make a big pot for dinner, like stew or mostly stew. I remember big pots of stew, and we ate stew, breakfast, lunch, and dinner until the stew ran out. Yeah. Yeah. So we had lots of fruits. We had guavas. We had papayas, bananas across the street in the farm, and we would just have the bunch hanging from the clothesline, and every time we ran down the beach, we'd run by the banana, take off a banana and head to the beach. Yeah.
That sounds fun. Is there any more you want to tell us?
Oh, there was a restaurant next door. It was Patsa Punaluu, the old Patsa Punaluu. And they had a wishing well. You know what a wishing well is? People would throw money in the wishing well. And at night, when the restaurant was closed, we would go over there and get money from the wishing well. And take it to Kaya's store and buy. My favorite thing to buy at Kaya's store was comics. I love to read comics. I had a drawer full of comics. And my dad wasn't happy that I was wasting money and time reading comics. But I think comics is what got me started in reading. You know what a comic is? Comics? You guys have that?
Most of the comics have superheroes. That's
Yes.
what I know.
Yes, yeah. That's all the superheroes that they have in the movies now, like Iron Man and Fantastic Four and all of those.
They didn't have that. They only had it.
We had it back in our days.
Oh.
It started when, it didn't just happen when you,
Me?
yeah, no, it happened my time and before, before my time. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay,
Okay.
you got another question?
Okay, well, let's go to the doodly-doo. Okay, what schools did you and your brothers and sisters go to?
Okay, I was going to Kalihiwaina. It's in town. We lived in Punaluu, but Grandma and Grandpa lived in town, so they would pack us up, we'd travel to town, and I think we stayed at Auntie Mulan's place. Do you remember that? So we would stay at Auntie Mulan's and get ready, because we'd get into town really early. And then, well, the school I remember is Kalihiwaina. And I was there for 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. And then my 6th grade teacher was Mrs. Silva. And she decided that there were 4 of us. She was going to help us to take the test for Kamehameha schools. But she knew we needed help with math. So she would tutor us during recess and after school to improve our math skills. And the 4 of us took the test and we all got accepted to Kamehameha schools, which is pretty amazing back then for all of us in one group all get accepted to Kamehameha schools. So even though we were living in the country, we were going. I don't know about you guys, but I was going.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
all.
Mrs. Silva, I didn't really know much about Kamehameha schools. I just knew it was a school up on the hill. But because she thought she wanted us to have a better education, and she helped us get in. If not for her, I wouldn't have gotten in. And then getting in was a great opportunity.
That's all?
I don't know. You have any other questions?
I've got...
If I say something and it causes you to have a question, you're welcome to ask me a question that's not on there.
Nah, I think I'm good. Okay. So, let's move on to question 21.
No, okay. So I was talking about myself, but my brothers and sisters, eventually they went to Haula school. So even though we lived in the country, I never went to school out there. But they ended up going to Haula school, and then to Kahuku Intermediate and High School. So just Uncle Danford and I went to Kamehameha. So I'm not sure at what point the rest of the family decided to stay out at Haula, because I was up at Kamehameha and Uncle Danford came out, and then everybody else went to Haula school and then to Kahuku. Did you go to Haula school?
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
It's been so long. Memories. But I gotta focus on the future, guys.
You remember being in immersion school at Haula? Was that immersion?
Yeah. Okay, now let's move on. We ain't talking about me, we're talking about you. Okay, so let's move on. Wait. Okay. Wait. Okay. What can you remember about births, marriage? No, sorry, wrong one. Did you or any of your relatives serve in the military?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
I did, but Uncle Clayton did. He was in the Air Force. And he went into the military because he didn't want to get drafted, because if you get drafted, then you go into the Army. And the Air Force had a good reputation, and so he decided to enlist or voluntarily go into the Air Force. And so immediately after high school, he joined up with the Air Force, and he was trained and transferred and spent most of his time away from Hawaii. And then after his years of service, he got out and raised his family. You know, your cousins, Clayboy, and that's not your cousins, that's your, I forget their kids' names. Tatum and Oakland.
Oh.
Then Charlotte.
Yeah, I can't remember all of that. Yep.
Okay. Just trying to figure this out. Okay. Will you share some? Wait. What? Okay. What jobs do you remember your parents and other family members doing?
Okay, jobs.
Jobs.
Well, I know at one point, Grandma Hanohano, do you remember her? Grandma Nona?
No, she was just a baby.
Oh, okay, maybe not. So Grandma Hanohano worked for Sky Chef. She was a cook for Sky Chef, then she was a cook at BYU Hawaii. She might have started there when it was Church College. And then she moved up to Provo, and she worked as a cook in the Missionary Training Center here in BYU. And she loved that job, and I think that she counted that as her mission. And so when she was in the Missionary Training Center, whenever there were local kids from Hawaii coming through, she would cook them fried rice and local kinds of food. And she would have them sign these journals, and she did that for years. And there was a stack of journals for all those former missionaries that were from Hawaii and were going through the Missionary Training Center. And she kept all of those books, and those are donated to the archives at BYU Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
So they're on record there. And one day you might want to go read those journals. Grandpa was, I think he was an insurance salesman, And then I remember one time he was selling roofs or some kind of sealant for roofs. And then I think he went into finance kinds of things.
Kinds of things.
But before that, when I was really young, he worked as a service station manager at a gas station in Hanohano. I remember him doing that.
Okay. Now, who did your brothers and sister marry?
Okay, I married. Well, I was married before, you know. Auntie Calais.
Yeah.
Her mom was Keneta Nani Mai'o'o. So I was married to Auntie Nani when I was going to law school here at BYU, and then we got divorced. And then I ended up working in Las Vegas, and that's where I met Auntie Lynn. We were at a halau there in Las Vegas, and so we started dating, and then we got married. And then once we found each other, we decided to move home to Hawaii. We moved to Maui, and then we were on Maui for a couple of years. Then we moved to the Big Island. That's when Auntie Val and Uncle Curtis, they moved to the Big Island. And then I took my family to Canada. I went back to school in Canada, and then we moved home to Haula and then to Maui, and we've been in Maui since 2006. So we've been there for 10 years on Maui. Uncle Dafford married Auntie Blanche, and they had 3 boys and a daughter. And then Uncle Clayton had 2 boys and a daughter. And then Uncle Clayton married Auntie Haji. You know Auntie Haji?
No.
Okay. And Auntie Val married Uncle Curtis, and they have, there's Uncle Jay, Mano, Pili, Oku, Kule, and Ephraim. Okay. Auntie Val married Uncle Curtis, Kahana. Auntie Ali married Uncle George, Kahawaii. And they have Kalani, Kekai, Annie, and Kalei boy. And then Uncle Chad married Auntie Kelly, and they have Heather or Kuipo, Haley, Pu'ai, Pono, and then Ikaika. And then Uncle Neil married Auntie Melinda, and then Auntie Melinda passed away, and then he married Auntie Kaleo. With Auntie Melinda had Ke Ahi, Nohea, Kahaku. Thank you for the hints. And Koali. Now don't ask me for name all the kids of all of them.
Okay.
That's too many. Yeah, so that was Uncle Neil. He's the baby.
Okay. Now.
Oh, and then Auntie Kaleo has Kahili.
Oh, okay. Sorry, this thing is really confusing. Does anyone in the family own a family Bible, a family history, or
genealogy?
General.
Auntie Val.
What?
Auntie Val has all that.
That question was answered. Okay. Moving on to what? What can you tell me about your mother's relatives?
Okay. So on my dad's side, I'm a Hanohano. And then on Grandpa Hanohano side, there's Hanohano and Pianaya. On my mom's side is Ho. So my mom, on her side there's the Ho and Kalikinis. So those are the 4 lines that we tie into it, but then each of those lines branch out into different lines. So it's Hanohano, Pianaya, and Ho and Kalikini.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Okay. When and where was your mother born?
My mom was born in Honolulu, July 24th, 1929.
Okay, now when and where?
Oh, 16.
Oh.
Sorry, July 16th. And my dad was born July 4th, 1927.
Okay. Now.
Yeah, July 16th. Grandma's birthday is July 16th.
Okay. Are you aware of any ancestors or immigrants?
Let me see.
Right there.
Any ancestors who immigrated from their home country to this country? I think there was on the Hanohano side, there's his name is Akuna, but I forget what his name was. He was Chinese and changed his name, Hawaiianized it to Akuna, and married I think Fanny. Oh wait, anyway, on the Hanohano side. And he wanted to take his son home to China, and that son was Abraham St. Chad Pianaya. But King Kalakaua would not let him take that son out of Hawaii. He had to stay. And in fact, Kalakaua sent him to study in England. And he, so it's my desire that one day, one of his posterity would desire to go study in England. He was sent to England. He was still young. He was sent to what's called St. Chad's College. And back then, well, even today, college in the British system is like a high school, or continues to support those Hawaiians studying abroad. So they brought him back. But he had already learned enough that he ended up becoming a teacher, I believe. What was the question?
I technically lost it.
Okay.
So, are we moving on?
Something about study.
Okay, moving on. What are some? Oh, this is the last one. What are some important spiritual experience you have had?
Okay. Well, going on a mission was a wonderful experience. I ended up going to Arizona and New Mexico. It's called the Southwest Indian Mission, and that's why I'm here in Utah, because I came up for my mission reunion Friday night. And my mission actually set the course for my life, because I've done lots of work with tribal communities, Indian people, indigenous communities around the world. So it kind of set me on that course. I went on my mission. I was sent on my mission by President Eric Shumway. He was a young bishop in Haula, and I ended up going on a mission when it was your choice. It's not like now where young men are expected to go on missions. As part of their priesthood responsibility, back then you had a choice to go or not go. So I had friends that I grew up with that chose not to go, but President Shumway thought it was something we should all go, and so he started sending missionaries from Haula Ward. And by the time I went out, I was number 13 missionaries sent out of Haula Ward by Bishop Shumway. Before that, I only knew of 2 people that left from Haula. One was Uncle Greg Garrigan, and I forget who the other was, a sister. I can't recall her name now. But when we grew up in Haula, it was a branch. We met in one little chapel that just had pews going right down the middle. It's not the big chapel that stands there today. It was a little house, maybe about the size of this right here. From this wall to the door was not very big. And had the Haula branch included the family from Kahana, and the families that from Kahana, they were old Hawaiian families that still spoke Hawaiian, and so they had a Sunday school class. They called it the Makuli class, and it was taught in Hawaiian. And some people from the Kahana area were Peter Kau, KAU, and Harry Makanoa, had the Delacernas, had the Kahalas, and so those old Hawaiians had very powerful testimonies.
Okay. Well, that was beautiful, wasn't it? Look at our eyes. They're so excited.
Hey, wait. Now it's my turn to interview.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Can I ask you, have you had any spiritual experiences? How old are you?
I'm 10.
Do you have any special spiritual experience you would like to share? How about, you remember getting baptized?
Oh, yeah.
What was that like?
It's been so long. But it was really, 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 really exciting for me because, like, before, when I turned 8, or like, before I was going to get baptized, I already knew that I was going to be excited and kind of shy. And
So this is something you wanted?
yeah, this is something I really wanted. Yeah. And I think I wrote it in my journal. Yeah.
Great.
That I lived back in Maui.
So you got baptized on Maui?
Yeah, on Maui.
Was that in Puanani Ward?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
It was really exciting for me.
Yeah.
And the most exciting part that I got was lots of candy.
You had candy lays? Okay,
They
very
were like
good.
filled right here.
Yeah.
It was really delicious.
So, can I ask you, what is it you want to be when you grow up? You have any idea?
I'm going to be working for Primerica, and I'm going to make my own business.
Okay, very good. You have anything else you want to share? Who's your parents?
My mom is Camaria Kaka, and my dad is your son, Peter Kahola Hanohano the third.
Okay. And your grandparents?
Peter Kahola Hanohano the second, yeah.
Junior.
Junior, not the second. Okay. And Grandma, and then Lynn.
Mira. Costa Mira. That's your, yep,
Okay.
that's your dad's mom.
Whoa.
Yeah. Do you like living up here in Utah?
Yes, a little bit.
How's your school?
Yeah,
You have lots of friends there?
lots.
Really? And these are kids right around here?
Yes. One of them lived downstairs with
Okay.
us. And so,
Well, the only reason I'm interviewing you because as you grow up, then you can try to remember educational and spiritual experiences you have throughout your life, and if you remember, you can put it in your journal. I've had a hard time doing journals. I was supposed to keep journals on my mission.
Can use that?
I ended up going to, as I said, to the Southwest Indian Mission. I had a hard time. I have a lot of those memories, but I haven't had time to write it down. But I think that's why Auntie Val is asking you to interview me, so we have a record of these things.
and you know, our channel, yeah, Hana Squares,
Okay.
has
Very good.
so many memories. That's why
Okay.
it's our journal.
Yes. So this is a photo journal.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Oh.
God.
Teamwork. Take one.
Okay.